Welcome to Morningstar. I'm Holly Black. With me is Peter Spiller. He's manager of the Capital Gearing Trust. Hello.
Hello, Holly.
So you've got 3 stock picks for us today. They're not really stock picks because you invest in other funds and investment trusts, but where would you like to start?
Right. Well, I'd start with an investment trust, which we have owned for a very long time, called North Atlantic Securities. And North Atlantic is run by a man called Chris Mills, and it is probably the most activist of any investment trust. So he takes substantial stakes in the underlying investments and works very hard to improve them, often changing the management, sometimes buying the whole company and taking it private and then reissuing it. And his record has been very powerful over the last 25 years. It's a great way for investors to get exposure to private equity kind of investments without paying huge fees.
So how does a trust like that fit in with your capital preservation mandate?
Well, the mandate is to grow capital over time. So you have to have some assets, the risk assets. You can't just have treasury bills. So we have an allocation which is currently about 40% towards risk assets, and that will be a good example of them.
Okay, and let's move on to stock number 2 then.
So Tridex Big Box has big warehouses, big sheds, and because the cost of the warehouse is relatively low, but the cost of the equipment that their tenants put inside it is very high. And therefore, the tenants want to make sure they're going to have that warehouse for a long time, so they're willing to sign up to very long-term leases. And that's terrific. They are inflation adjusted. And so the average lease is over 14 years. So this looks awfully like a credit portfolio, as well as property portfolio.
And presumably, online shopping is driving that trend towards needing these big warehouses anyway, and that has only been exacerbated by the current situation.
Indeed. So the warehouses are one of the few parts of the property world where share prices tend to trade to premium. So Segro's bigger competitor, trades at a large premium. Okay,
let's go on to stock number 3.
So the third one is slightly riskier. It's called Secure Income. So this is a property company run by Nick Lesor, who has a fantastic record. It's in 3 bits. It does hospitals, which unsurprisingly are doing very, very well and look very sound at the moment. It has leisure assets, which would include things like Legoland and Warwick Castle and so forth. And obviously they have been closed down for the period, reopening now. But we think the company is strong enough to get through that operates them. It's backed by the Lego family and by Blackstone. These are people with deep pockets, and they're in for the long haul. And we've got every confidence that when COVID's gone away, you'll tell me, Holly, when that is, but when it's gone away, that these will be very highly rated assets. They are the crown jewels of that company.
Peter, thank you so much for your time. For Morningstar, I'm Holly Black.